Well, welcome everyone to the Elevate Your Life Challenge. This is day one of our 3-day event. Tomorrow will be at 4 p.m. Eastern. Is that 1 p.m. Pacific? And then that will also be the same times for Sunday, 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific for days 2 and day 3. So welcome. Glad you are here. We are excited because what we will be doing is providing not just lip service, trying to sell you something, because we're not here to sell you anything. We want to service and serve our community. So what we're going to do is actually give you tools and takeaways. So one of the first things that you can do is, if you haven't registered, please make sure that you're registered so that you can join the Facebook group. Because in the Facebook group is where we have workbooks for you for these next 3 days. So that way you can follow along. They are a writable PDF. So that's where I'm sure some folks are going now, going to the Facebook group, download that PDF to your laptop or your phone, however you're joining us today, and then you can actually follow along and fill out that PDF. It's a fillable PDF, so you can actually fill out that PDF while you are with us. And then, because what's really important that you understand is what you write, you invite. So we ask that you actually write things down and fill them out, because that will only further anchor the learning and the knowledge that we are sharing today. And what's more important is a lot of what's in those documents, that workbook, is actually tools for you to actually take forward and continue to go. Because what happens over these next 3 days is only 3 hours. It's not like a medicine and then boom, you're cured. It's like when you go to the gym, you don't go to the gym and then you work out and you go home and then you're like, oh yeah, that muscle is growing. No, it's the exercise, the activity that happens over and over and over again. So please, Facebook group, grab that PDF, print it, get your hands on it, because that is going to be your guide when you are not with us. So that's one thing. I want to present one of my co-hosts today, who is Dr. Michelle Green. Dr. Michelle Green, do you want to say hello to the folks?
Yes, hello, hello, hello. Hello, Marilyn and Kimberly. Yes, hello, everyone. Yes, so I am going to drop the workbook. I'm going to attempt to drop the workbook also into the chat, okay? So hopefully we can see it in there. And I just want to welcome everyone to this challenge. We are so excited to have you here because we know that the information that we will provide to you will help you elevate your life. It will help you in all areas of your life. And so, JT, can you tell us a little bit more about what we are going to experience today?
Absolutely. So what we will experience today is very much about, all of us have dreams, all of us have goals. And then we can take the example of, because everyone relates to New Year's resolutions as an example. Because everyone has these goals and ambitions in January or late December. And then some point, maybe it's the first week, second week of January. For those that have gotten a little bit better, maybe they made it into February, but eventually their resolutions, their goals for the year, most folks have already fallen off the wagon. And the reason is they haven't done some tasks that require what we'll call neuroencoding, for lack of a better term. We'll go into a little bit more about what that is. So today, I'm going to go through 5 simple steps to help you to actually anchor whatever those goals are with some tools that allow you to actually keep those alive and going throughout the year. And what's really important is that what we share over these next 3 days, these are proven methods anchored in science, neuroscience. So we're not here, doing crystals and unicorns and all that crazy stuff. This is all neuroscience. But what we've done is we've broken it down into its simplest form so that it's easy for all of us to digest and be able to move forward.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Yes, yes, yes. So I am so excited. Again, my name is Dr. Michelle Odette Green, and I am a brain health trainer, a neuroencoding specialist, and a happiness trainer. And I like to help people get happy. That's the best way I know how to say that, because there was one time in my life when I was not a happy camper. It seemed like on the outside, everything was going great for me. I had a wonderful job. I had a beautiful car. I was driving the car of my dreams, a Mercedes Benz. I had a big home, the designer clothes, all of the trappings that anyone would desire. Money in my pocket, a lot of money in my pocket, and I just was not happy. I didn't understand why. And so one day, oh my goodness, I cried out to the Lord and I was like, Lord, what can I do to be happy? Because I just feel so broken in the inside. Although I've reached certain goals that I set, I have the trappings in my life, I have beautiful kids, I have a beautiful family, and I didn't know why I was so unhappy in the inside. And I went on that quest to find out why, and I dug into personal development and I start climbing myself out of that unhappy hole and realizing that happiness, true happiness, is from the inside out. And so over the years, I've learned how to be happy from the inside out, where it's not predicated on outside circumstances. And then, yes, 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 I got into brain health because I know when your brain works right, your life works so much better. And when your brain doesn't work right, you're sadder. And that's what I was. I was sad. And now, since I understand about how the brain works, how neurochemicals work in your body, how your identity shapes you going after your goals, I do all of that work, and I'm so happy that I am here to share it with you along with the JT. And we have another co-host. Her name is Val Dansler. She's all about gratitude. She's the gratitude grandmaster. And so I am just thrilled that you are here. And I know if you just stick with us, the information that we're going to provide to you, you can learn it, apply it, and multiply it. So anything that you already know, you just take this information and you stack it on top of that information so you again can go further faster. All right, JT, back over to you, my friend.
You folks ready to rock and roll? Because before we begin, I need you to take a couple of moments and grab a piece of paper, something to write down. Some of you are maybe a little bit further along, maybe even have a journal. Get yourself a pen or paper. And this is not something that we want you to like do it with your phone. Now, if you want to voice record and then take notes later, that's perfectly fine if you want to do that with your phone. But we ask that you take notes because what you write, you invite. We want to anchor the learning. The second thing we ask that you do is going back to that phone. Not going to ask you to turn it off. I'm real. What? Turn off my phone? You crazy? But if we can put it on vibrate, face it down so that it's not a distraction, because we want you to be selfish right now. Be selfish. This is about you. This is for you. So take the opportunity to be selfish and make it work for you. Okay. And of course, if you're watching this on the phone, thank you, Marilyn. Absolutely. Then please keep the phone on. All right. So I'm going to try to share my screen here. So forgive me. I am not the most tech savvy man in the world. So hopefully you see a beautiful pic. Go ahead.
Drop the workbook in the chat.
Super. So there's a workbook that goes along with this to follow along. It is a PDF file that is writable if you're on a tablet or something. Otherwise, you're more than welcome to take notes just to further anchor the learning. And then for a limited time, these sessions, these 3 sessions will be available as a recording for a limited time. Now you can sign up for a VIP up until Sunday night for $27. And you'll have lifetime access to those recordings, as well as a couple of gifts. But I'm not going to give you away what all those gifts are now. But they do include, among those gifts, is a 1-hour free session with either your choice of either Dr. Green, myself, or Val. Now, I'm not going to say what prices run, but I can tell you at minimum, my rate is $497 for an hour. So you will save at least $497 getting 1 free discovery call with me. My name doesn't say doctor in the front, so I'm sure that Dr. Green's probably even more than I am. But VIP for $27, you get these recordings for life. You have access to them. And then you also get a free coaching session of your choice with any one of the co-hosts. So without further ado, I'm going to jump right in and let's get this party started. So Dr. Green, can you see my screen? Fantastic. So what we are going to talk about today is elevating your life and creating so that the goals that you have in your life become a reality. 5 simple steps is how we're going to do this. And what's most important, we're adults here, right? We're all adults. No one else is coming to rescue us, folks. If we don't do it, mommy, daddy, husband, the girlfriend, the wife, no one's coming to rescue us. It's us to do it or it doesn't happen. So please, I ask that you take this, enjoy this, and absorb. So who am I? My name is Jonathan Toms. I go by JT. I am a ultimate performance coach and speaker. So my beginnings started in the United States Marine Corps. After the Marine Corps, I came home, joined a retail organization where I had spent over 25 years. And a little bit of my story is I came home from the Corps, and the only thing they had was a cart position where you collect shopping carts in the parking lot. And the HR manager said, well, that's all we have that's full time, and you're overqualified. I said, that's okay, I'll take it anyway. 25 years later, folks, I have lived and worked in Sweden, leading teams and people, lived and worked in Saudi Arabia, doing the same thing, as well as Malaysia, and then countless cities throughout the United States. Philadelphia, Seattle, Washington, D.C., Chicago, and L.A., among some of the other markets that I've been in. So through the years, I've been able to take what I say, I started out pushing thousands of shopping carts to then leading thousands of people. And what happened is, on that journey, I stepped into the world of human resources and learning and development with my career. And then boom, I realized I had this passion in my heart for helping people to learn and grow and develop. And so that's what I do now, is I help people learn, grow, and develop. And then along that journey, I discovered something called neuroencoding, which is neuroscience. So what is neuroencoding? Neuroencoding is programming oneself to default to your best behaviors when the stress levels go up. So what does that mean? What that means is, and I'll take the example of ending the stories of silent suffering. When you have procrastination, hesitation, fear of failure, fear of success, self-doubt, self-loathing, low self-esteem, overwhelm, imposter syndrome, these are the toxic 10, the thieves of dreams. The silent suffering is what happens. And I can tell you, on this journey throughout my life, it wasn't always pretty. None of us have had a pretty life. We all have our ups and downs. But one of the things that's happened is, in this discovery, in this process, is my mom, I love her to death. May she rest in peace. My parents were divorced. My mom remarried my stepfather, who was an alcoholic and drug addict and extremely violent. And growing up as a child, I witnessed my mom getting beat downs. And we'd leave and we'd come back. We'd leave and we'd come back. Now I can tell you I know why. Because my mother was suffering from the toxic 10. So I've made it my life mission that no human being should have to suffer the way my mother suffered. And now I'm the father of daughters. So it's not just that I empower and equip my daughters, but I want to empower and equip the world with these tools to create the life of their dreams to be fulfilled. Because through neuroencoding, it is extremely possible. So that's a little bit of my story, a little bit of my background, and why we're here. So before we can get started, we need to make sure that we're prepared mentally. So what I need everybody to do, unless you're driving a car, I need you to get up, do me a couple of jumping jacks. Because what's extremely important is the learning process. It is anchored when we have physical motion taking place. Before we start to do something, we need to be mentally prepared. And when we repeat that process, we condition our nervous system so it becomes automatic. And when we repeat, understand repetition is the mother of success. Let me repeat that. Repetition is the mother of success, because what happens? Repetition becomes habits. So this is about setting ourselves up for the right habits. So one of the things that I do personally is I use music. So for example, every morning I get up, I've got Pitbull going, I've got Lil Wayne going, I've got Drake, I've got somebody playing, so that I am getting myself established for the day ahead. Because when you are mentally set, you're good to go. So after the mental process, we need to then make sure that we are physically ready. So for this challenge, so what I'm going to ask specifically for this journey is that for the next 7 days, that you do some of these actions. So what you're going to need is to get a journal and a pen. So that's your physical. I need you to either get, download, or have a calendar or a scheduling system for your tablet, your phone. And then I need you to then reach out to some friends and family, the people that you care about, and share this process that you're going through and share it with them. Because what happens is when you share things with people, one, they'll engage with you and get interested. And then you've also got a self-built-in support network, because it's always easier when you got more people with you on the journey. So mental preparation and the physical preparation. So those are the things you're going to have to set yourself up with going through these next 7 days. Now, the warm-up. I said it's 5 steps. This is step number 1. We already touched on the one a little bit, which is move it. The movement of your body is the most effective way to get right in your headspace. It relieves the perfect cocktails in your mind, in your head, of chemicals, which I'm not going to go into. But understand, when you move, it's physiology, and it sets you up for success. The second thing is see it. So move it and then see it. See yourself standing strong. When you look in the mirror, smile and imagine yourself as your strongest self. Talk to yourself. Tell yourself you love yourself. Smile whenever you see yourself. 3 is say it. Use your words of affirmation. Tell yourself that you're magnificent. Tell yourself that you're amazing. You have to speak these words to yourself. You cannot wait for someone to tell you this information, these words from externally. You have to say it yourself, to yourself. And then what will happen is, even if you don't feel that way today, please trust me. Something happens in your brain where you will have a change take place over a couple of days, where you will start to believe it and you will feel better about yourself. And when you feel better about yourself, other shit starts to happen. And then number 4 is praise it. Acknowledge and praise yourself. And then share your successes and your journey with your family and your friends, and continue to smile. It's extremely important. So step 1, which is your warm up every day, throughout your day, you got to move it, see it, say it, praise it. Step number 2 is your choice, your story. Here, this is where the journal comes in. This is where we're going to do some brainstorming, where you will sit down with that journal and you're going to write, what are all the things that I want in my life? What are all the desires that I have? And don't think small, think big. Because don't think 2 years from now, 3 years from now, 5 years from now. Think throughout your life. What are all the things? And go back in time. When you were a child, what did you want? Did you want a horse? Right now, oh, I wanted a horse. Because what will happen is, again, it's the chemicals that will start. And then what will start to happen is, after a while, we're going to ask you to take and filter that down and prioritize 2, 3, or 4 things that you want to focus on. But you have to first write them down. And the best way to do that is brainstorm. Be creative, and just, because what will happen is, when you start, that's the genesis of your creativity. Start writing it down, and then things will start to open up. Your mind will start to expand, and then your goals, your dreams, things that you hadn't really thought about will come back to you. So please do that. And there's 3 keys to it. Remember, where your focus is where you go. So make sure your thoughts are on the right things. No one uses a rearview mirror when they're moving forward. Continuously ask yourself, what is the outcome that I'm looking for? And make clear-cut choices that gives you the most pleasure. Because what happens is your nervous system will lead you there. And again, it's about your story. And I'm going to share with you why this is so important. A personal story. So some years ago, and what's really important is this happened with almost no knowledge around neuroencoding, which proved to me that like when you have it, it's dangerous. Some years ago, I was on a home trip from Saudi Arabia and I'm sitting on the edge of the bed. And I'm cleaning up bedside table, it was a little junky, and I find this piece of folded paper. I unfold it and I'm sitting on the edge of the bed and I start reading it. And there was goals and dreams that I had written down years earlier. And I'm like, wow. And I started to cry. And my oldest daughter walked in. She was maybe 8, 9 at the time. And she's like, why are you crying, Daddy? And I told her, it's like, Daddy's happy, honey. It's happy tears. Because as I was reading, those were goals and dreams that I had on that piece of paper, where most of them were fulfilled, or I was in the middle of them, living in them. And this is before neuroencoding. This was at the basic level. So what happens is when you start to write these things down and you start to read them on a regular basis, subconsciously, your mind starts to influence your thoughts, your actions, the decisions you take. And you slowly change and move towards that direction. So I cannot emphasize this enough. This is so important to go through the brainstorming exercise. Also important, number 3, your step 3, is what is your why? What is your compelling purpose for why you want those goals, those dreams to be and to have the outcomes that you want? I mentioned my daughters earlier. For me, it's about them. My compelling why is that they don't have a life as my mother did. I don't want them to have to depend on a man. I want them to have the strength here. That's first and foremost. And then I expand that. I want everybody to have that. That's my why. I can't stop wars. I can't provide food and fix hunger and clean water, but I can help people to create their joy every day and help them fulfill their dreams. So that's my why. What is your why? Is it about your family? Is it about your health? Whatever it might be, that has to be your driver. And the reason that is so important not to skip this step is it's not easy. There's going to be times that are challenging. That is life. Life is a challenge. So you've got to go back and refer to, why am I doing this? Because that will be the nudge when you have those challenging moments. And I'll go back to the very beginning when I had mentioned about New Year's resolutions. If it wasn't connected to a strong enough why, a compelling why, maybe that's why I fell off the wagon. So step number 4, got to have a plan. And let me tell you, we're lucky because there is so much information out there on everybody that's been successful. So what that means is success leaves footprints. Copy paste, people. Copy paste. Identify the people that are doing what it is that you want to do. And don't necessarily do what they're doing now, but duplicate what they were doing to get there. Success leaves clues. Duplicate. And then ask yourself as you're building your plan, what did they do? How did they think? What kind of words and language did they use? What did their day-to-day look like? What do they focus on? Take this into your planning process. Do the research. The internet, it's mind blowing. Find out about the people that are doing what it is you want to do. Of course, you might not know them, you may not be able to connect to them, but there's enough information out there where you can learn their journey and be able to copy paste. Step number 5, the final one, is your schedule now. When you have commitments in your schedule, things will get completed. But if it's not in your schedule, it's not going to happen. So I'm not going to ask you to join the 5 a.m. club. That's something you have to decide for yourself if that works for you. But I am going to ask that you take 15 minutes first thing in the morning and do 2 things. What does your schedule look like? And if you're really good, you can do it the night before. What does your schedule look like for the day? What part of that schedule has you being taken care of towards your dreams and your goals? Because if you don't plan time for it, it's not going to happen. So take 15 minutes. Where is that happening today? I use my phone to also go off with an alarm. And it tells me, don't forget to drink water. So sometimes it says drink water. Sometimes it tells me you are phenomenal. You are amazing. Because I got to pick myself up too sometimes. I might have had a bad conversation with somebody. And then that reminder comes on that says, hey, you're amazing. It's like, yeah, I am. So plan the things, the actions that you need to take throughout the day. And challenge yourself. Make yourself accountable and think back to your why. It's extremely important. So the last thing that you should be doing every day, all the time, it's not a step because we need to be doing it all the time, and that is praise yourself. When you wake up in the morning, say, yeah, I am amazing. There's nothing that says you can't do that. There's nothing that says you can't wake up and say, yeah, I am amazing. Because immediately the chemicals are flowing. The right chemicals are flowing. Praise yourself. The simplest things. You made a good cup of coffee this morning. You take that first sip. Oh, that is so, oh, reach back, pat yourself on the back and smile like, oh, you made an amazing cup of coffee. You got to celebrate, 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 celebrate. Because again, the more you celebrate, you are programming your nervous system to say, oh, I like that. I'm going to do it again. Because we have 2 things. We have pain and we have pleasure. Because our brain is, it might be 1,000,000 years old, but it hasn't evolved much. So it's the fight, flight, and freeze. Pain and pleasure. At the end of the day, is still how it works. So when you fool your brain, because your brain doesn't have eyes, when you say the words, your brain absorbs those positive words, and then you start to feel good. You start to get that pleasure. And then your brain says, oh, we need to do that again because that feels good. It's that simple. It's neuroscience, but it's extremely basic. Praise yourself for the simplest things. Men, if you're watching this, I'm going to go down and dirty. If you remembered to put the seat down when you're done, praise yourself. Okay? All right. Quick review, because this is your challenge. Get yourself prepared. We're going to do this over the next 7 days. You need to be prepared mentally and physically. That means get yourself a playlist, some music, move every day. Get yourself a journal. Get yourself something you can schedule with a calendar. And then, of course, share with your friends, those that are important to you, that will help you and support you on the journey. And then we got to make sure we're moving it. You got to make sure you're seeing it. When you see it in the mirror, you got to smile at yourself. You got to say it. Oh, and let me say one thing about see it. Because we are a self-image driven society. You know, you could be a woman at 5'5" and 99 pounds and think that you are fat, unfortunately. And I got a little bit of bulk to me. But let me tell you something. What you see in the mirror, if you got a little bit of a barrel, you still have to see yourself as sexy. You have to tell yourself, I'm sexy. You got to say it. Because what happens is subconsciously, when you keep repeating it, your mind is going to tell you you're going to take decisions, actions that are going to move you towards that direction anyway. So maybe instead of buying a dozen donuts, you buy a half dozen donuts. Progress, people. It's progress. Okay. So move it, see it, say it, praise it. Brainstorm. Make sure you do the brainstorming exercise. It's extremely important. Where is your focus is where you go. And that's daily. Continuously ask yourself, what is the outcome I want when you're doing your brainstorming? And then clear cut choices. What gives me the most pleasure so that you are anchoring that into your nervous system? Further review, what is your compelling why? Because again, there will be challenging moments and you have to fall back on that why. Make yourself a plan. Duplicate, folks, copy paste. There's others that have been there before us. We do not have to reinvent the wheel. Success leaves clues. Do the homework. Trust me, it's easier to do the homework than it is to be figuring it out on your own. And then in the morning, 15 minutes or the night before, preparation. What am I doing today to move me closer to my goals? And put it into the calendar. What are you doing to make it happen? Read it out loud, your reasons why, which is extremely important, and then make yourself accountable. Extremely important. And then, of course, praise yourself. Celebrate every day, every moment, because the praise and acknowledgement immediately after you do something sends a signal to your nervous system, says, do it again. We like it. We want more. And I'm not going to go into this whole chemical thing because you'll get more about that tomorrow. So all I ask is that because your outcome from this will be the silent suffering will diminish. It won't go away. But what will happen is it'll be a lot less. Because then what happens is the replacement of the silent suffering of those things like procrastination, hesitation, fear of failure, fear of success, self-doubt, self-loathing, imposter syndrome, all those things start to lessen and more joy comes into your life. And when you create joy every day. You have joy all day. And that is my gift to you, but you've got to execute the challenge. I'm asking you for the next 7 days, do this. My name is JT. It's been an honor to serve you today. I wish you nothing but joy throughout your life. Dr. Green, take it away.
Oh, wait, oh, wait, oh, wait. That was so impactful and powerful. Thank you, JT, for the first secret. The first secret is out, you all. It's all about moving it, seeing it, saying it, praising it. So it's, for me, I like to say, see it, say it, move it, prove it. And so, again, the first secret is out, and I will be back tomorrow to tell you about the second secret. I want to ask you a question. Did you know that you are manifesting with your I am? Think about it. Think about those two words, I am. I means you. A in the am means am, and M means manifesting. So think about that. You are manifesting with your words. So think about this as well. Your identity, who you are, dictates your results. And lasting transformation comes from your identity. So we want to help you have an identity shift. So just imagine this. Just imagine, if you will, facing a goal that really seems so impossible. With a weak identity, you will actually give up. So tomorrow, I'm going to be talking about how do you enhance your identity? How do you create a strong identity? Because with a strong identity, that identity whispers and says, you got this, you got this, you can do it. And so it will push you to keep you moving forward when things really get tough, because things will happen to you and they will happen to the people that you love. Because as Les Brown likes to say, life be life. And so when you truly believe in yourself and you have a strong identity, you can truly get the desires of your heart. And that's why we are here to teach you how to elevate your thoughts so that you can elevate your life. And again, I will be talking about enhancing your brain health and your identity in order to get what you truly, truly want in life. And so, JT, with that in mind, I'll turn it back over to you.
Absolutely. And I'm going to actually do a quick throw it right over to someone that's joined us on the call by the name of Val. Val, do you want to give a shout out and a hello to everybody?
Hey, everybody. How is everyone doing out there? Listen, this has been phenomenal. JT, you are off the chain. Oh, my goodness. Of course, I expect nothing less than that. But it is an honor just to be here, guys. We've got some great things in store for you on this. This is some real information that we're giving you that you can use. And I know JT gave you those steps for you to take, and they are phenomenal. Listen, I'm taking the steps too, so don't don't just think that she's got it like that. No, you're actually talking to some people that actually practice. We practice what we are here talking about today. So it is not just that we're giving you fluff, we're giving you real strategies that we use for ourselves. Okay, so listen, I wanted to come on here really quickly and tell you about the rest of this weekend. That's phenomenal. But the VIP packages that we have, okay, is absolutely phenomenal. So if you think you've gotten something from just this little bit that you heard today, imagine. I want to go over the VIP experience with you because it is truly a VIP experience. Okay. So, of course, your general admission right now, of course, you're going to keep everything that you have with general admission. You're going, of course, to have access, full-time, lifetime access to the recordings that we have here. Of course, you have the private Facebook group that we have. All right. But we've got some goodies in there. We've got some workbooks that is amazing so that you can take this information and really see it, write it, take notes. Okay. It's an actual workbook that you can go along with us on that. We also have the Elevate Journal, which is amazing. It's beautiful, but Dr. Green has put some fabulous information in that. Okay. And we have some wonderful meditations. I'm really into meditations myself. They're absolutely fantastic. I found myself meditating earlier today, and I tell you, it actually relaxed me and it energized me at the same time. All right. And that right there is a $197 value. Okay. The journal is a $67 value. The workbook is a $297 value, guys. You're getting this and much, much more. A total of $1,500 in value for only $27. So guys, sign up. It's not too late for you to upgrade to VIP. All right. So with that being said, I'm going to turn it back over to JT.
Yeah, you know what? There's a little bit of time. So, and I'm in a very giving and sharing mode right now. So we're going to go off script a little bit because I think it's really important. And as I said, my mission in life is sincere. So I know you can't see what I've got written here, so I apologize. But I just want you to know that I'm not a doctor, but the saying goes, "Physician, heal thyself first." So the things that I shared with you today, I do and practice, and I want to share with you. So I have move it, see it, say it, praise it. I have my choices. And I've written this out. I choose to have a healthy lifestyle, eat clean, and go outside the guidelines only when it's connected to a celebration. That means eat cake on occasion. I will maintain healthy relationships or keep those that are negative at arm's length and outside of my influence. Got to protect yourself. You feel me? I choose to prioritize building my business. I choose to live a happy and comfortably in my own home. I am deserving. This is my calling for 2024. Then I have down here my why. And then I'm not going to say my children's names out loud to make them public, but I'll just say to give them an amazing life and make the world a better place where people can thrive and not suffer silent suffering. So, and then what I do, we're talking about how we look at others that have been there before us. So I have this Sunday council that I do where I actually sit myself on Sunday nights with my elders right here. So I meet with my council, my team, and we plan. So I have Tony Robbins, I have Dr. Joseph McClinton III, I have Brendan Burchard, I have Nelson Mandela, and then we discuss what happened this week, what could I have done better, and I do that through the voice and my perception of the behaviors of a Nelson Mandela, and then I take that with me for my planning for the next week. So again, physician heal thyself. You have to do the work to make it a reality. You have to schedule it. So please, I share only because I do want you to move beyond the thieves of these dreams, these toxic 10, the silent suffering that happens, because we have the ability to control the outcome of our lives. But it's up to us. It's not up to your spouse, boyfriend, girlfriend, your children, your boss, your job. It's up to you. So with that, I will end it there.
All right. Yes, yes, yes. If it is to be, it is up to me. Yes. So join us tomorrow. That is at 4 o'clock, I should say, Eastern Standard Time, 1 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, and 2 o'clock Mountain Standard Time. We look forward to seeing you on tomorrow. Please bring a friend. Again, make it a watch party, because the information that we are sharing truly can change individuals' lives. So we look forward to seeing you on tomorrow. So JT, with that, I'm turning it back over to you, my friend. Any parting words?
Oh, I think I've said enough. Val?
All right, Val.
Hey, I'm telling you guys, this is absolutely fabulous. I cannot wait to see all of you tomorrow. Remember, please share this with other people. Okay, invite them. Let's have a big party. Let's have a big celebration and get some information and knowledge that we truly need. Back over to you.
Yes. And I am going to actually stop the recording.